Hey, so real quick before we get into our intro, this comment is brought to you by Ryan Mayfield after his Ebuggy loss. Wow. I did not know what this meant, so I went to look it up. I've never heard somebody say this in my life. Stepping on my own dick. Used to describe potential failure in a given situation if a particular course of action is taken. 2, when you have done something exceptionally stupid, causing you to have no progress toward the resolution when attempting to solve a problem. I've never heard anybody say that, but I can see how painful it was because I felt for him after he threw it all away on the last few corners of Ebuggy. He had it, and then he just lost it. Lost it.
Hasn't been his weekend.
Wow. Anywho, we're going to talk about that and a lot more stuff at Silver State. We have RC Kevin, Max Mort. This is Lefty the Great. It's time to drop that intro.
Nitro is the glory. Welcome to the No Name RC podcast with your host tonight, Keenan White, aka Lefty the Great, and if you are unlucky, the Finnish village idiot, JQ. This is the RC podcast with no name, but plenty of content. So sit back, relax, and get ready for some serious bench racing.
Yes, indeed. Nitro is the glory, but Ebuggy pays the bills. What's going on, everybody? It's time for episode number 125 of the No Name RC podcast. I'm your host, Keenan White, a.k.a. Lefty the Great. Joining me is my co-host, Maximus Mortimus. What's up, Max? How are you?
I'm doing good. Been wrenching a lot recently. Been building my cars, get ready for the season. But we don't have a track yet, so it's kind of. I mean, the weather is good enough, but the track situation. My closest track from my house at the moment is like 3 hours away. So
really, okay. And we got my buddy RC Kevin from up in Quebec. He's kind of in the same situation. It's cold up there, defrosting, getting ready to race, I would assume.
What's up, Lefty? Wrenching also, getting ready for the Canadian Championship, the J Concept Series on June 11th to 13th. So waiting until the tracks get ready and give her a go.
Sweet. Let us know how our levels are, guys. And if you can hear one of us more, can you hear the other? Like if you can't hear Kevin, if Max is coming through clear, just let us know so we can adjust our sound levels here. But, before we go on any further and we get into the nitty gritty of Silver State, I do have to say some thank yous and pay some bills. First off, I'd like to say thank you to the No Name RC Squad around the world, the NNRC Squad. It's been a while. We haven't been back. We're back. I'm going to talk about that real quick, too. We went on a little hiatus here, but this is our first show in about 2 weeks. So we are back. We were supposed to be at Silver State, but we're not there. But we'll talk about that. Patrons of the NNRC, thank you guys for the support. Thank you guys for everything. I did talk to those guys earlier this week, so thank you for your support. If you wish to become a patron, you can. In the written description of this podcast is a link. Mayako, they're the title sponsor of the podcast. Joseph was in Spain testing. He might pop in here today. I don't know. He said he might. We'll see what happens, but shout out to him. We'll be recording next week talking about his Spain visit and stuff. Beach RC, Brent's at Silver State, having fun. I don't think he's doing too good in the racing, but I know he's having fun. TNR Fuels, they're looking good. They're got their pit set up, looking really nice. Got specials, Silver State bottles of Chase Elric on there, the dude and his son. Really cool gesture. Chris Nelson's having fun, man. He's at every race around there, so check them out. High Tech RCD, sponsor server of the podcast. Tekno RC, it was definitely a Tekno takeover yesterday. We're going to talk about that. They dominated yesterday's finals. Manscaped.com, we got something new from Manscaped. We're going to talk about that today too. We got a new lawnmower out. SCRC, Sun City RC Raceway, thank you to the Showers family for all the support. Lugs RC, Bryce and his family are there racing. I think they're having a good time. I think Bryce won Truggy, maybe an intermediate Truggy. Maybe I saw the other day at there, I believe. I'm not sure. Or 40 plus Truggy. Can't remember. I have to check. or was in the lead. I can't remember. Papa Willie's Traction Tonic, Racecraft USA. Wally's looking there. Wally is busy, dude. Wally is so busy. He's not even racing. He's just working on people's cars, prepping people's cars. He's got people coming in for like jobs like changing bearings, soldering. Like he's providing that full mechanical rep. He needs to hire somebody. I think he needed to hire somebody for this weekend. So he's busy.
I think Caitlin did 68 set of tires over the weekend.
That's amazing. Holy That's shit. A lot. That's a lot. That's a lot.
That's crazy level. That's like that Proline guy who used to work there. I don't know.
Daniel Adams. Wow. Yeah. Imagine how many tires he glued up over the years.
Yeah. I think he glued up 100 sets of tires every weekend, pretty much.
Wow. So shout out to Wally, RCGP, and of course House of RC. They set up something new for the NNRC Cup that you can check it out. The link for that is also here. What's up, guys? Real quick, I'm gonna touch on me real quick. As you can see, I have glasses now. We took a little hiatus. I know I was supposed to be at Silver State, but I kind of had to cancel my trip. I was supposed to leave the Thursday before Silver State, and Mike and I were gonna drive there from Charlotte. But I got really sick. I thought it was like a sinus infection, but it turns out I had really high. What are you doing, Max? I had really high.
Messing up, so I had to
okay. I'm getting older now, and I'm fat and out of shape, but my blood pressure was really bad, really high. When I finally went to the doctor, it was like 180 over 85, and I went to him. So he's like, "Yeah, we got to put you on blood pressure medicine. Got to put you on." But at one point, like I felt really bad. I was like, "Man, something's not right," and I felt really. So I had to cancel the trip. I'm getting better. I'm not 100%, but I'm feeling better. But I am going to the Nationals in June. I'm looking forward to that. But just had to stay home. Like my wife was on me. We just wanted to get, find out what's going on with me. Like make sure I wasn't, have nothing really wrong with me. And I don't, besides being overweight and stressed. But we'll work on that. But, that's a killer. So that's what happened with me. Yesterday we were supposed to do a show, but then I didn't have electricity. This is third world problem. My electricity didn't come on to 8 o'clock in the evening. 8 o'clock in the evening, we got electricity.
Yeah.
So, but that's third world problems.
Third world, yeah, exactly.
All right. So Max, real quick, you said you guys have got a track coming up. It's 3 hours away. What have you been up to besides wrenching? We haven't chatted for a while. Usually we would have recorded. Kevin and I, we recorded before I got sick. We did a live. Actually, I was sick when we did that live. I was feeling so bad. So we did that about 2 weeks ago. So that's all. I kind of took 10 days off away from, everything RC for a little bit, just, to get everything under control. So, but I'm back and I'm enjoying Silver State. Wish I was there. We're going to talk about that. But what about you, Max? What's the plans for you in Finland?
Well, the plan is to get racing soon. I think the next race is still a bit away. But I plan to go practicing here. I hope they get the track done. It's like an hour and a half away. They had the whole track like last summer. They tried to rebuild it, but it kind of went south. So now they're doing it. The track, which is usually close to me, is not even close to it. It hasn't even been started. It's been a huge mess. And then like all the tracks around are pretty bad, except for a few tracks which are way farther up north. So that's like the biggest issue right now. But it's been summertime, so we've been building a lot of stuff around the house, sort of cleaning stuff around. So not much RC recently. I've been wrenching quite a lot, trying to build all the cars and get ready for the season.
You haven't made no videos either.
Yeah, I remember last time I was here, I said like I'm gonna do 2 a month or something, but I've been just like doing other stuff, so that has been a back foot. I've been trying to get something done, but it's not too productive on that front.
You have to be in the mood too. You have to be in the mood to be productive and want to do them right. So I get that.
Yeah,
but hopefully when you get racing,
I don't really give it. Yeah.
Sweet. Kevin, what about you, man? How's Canada? Are they opening up a little bit more there? No, it's like, no, they're getting more strict.
It's not going super well here. I didn't do much in April because I was depressed nothing RC, nothing to do.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, we're everything is on the line to reopen in time for our Canadian Championships at Begos. Hopefully, should be fun, but we just need to be patient and either we take the country back or we wait.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's crazy. And here we're opening up. I know people probably, this is an RC show, but I'm going to say it anyway. I got my first shot for the vaccine this week. This Monday. It was super easy. I had no side effects whatsoever. I get the second one.
Chinese one, right?
Yeah. We got about 2 million of them or whatever.
Yeah, China gave it like the Latin America. China like gave them for free or something. Really crazy.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe they chipped me. I don't know what they've done. Maybe they know all my biometrics now. I don't know. But I'm going to get the second one because honestly, I think it's going to just become here real soon. For me, to travel, you're going to just need it. You know what I mean? And I'd just rather have it. And this country is opening up a lot. I mean, even I found out just to come back here, you didn't even need a COVID test, nothing. Like, it's like the DR is open for business, it seems like her. So that's good to know. I'm looking forward to my trip to the Nationals. We got a bunch of people in here. Hey, what's up, everybody? Please share this. I know racing has started at the Silver State, but please share this. We're going to talk about it in a second here. But before we go, you know what, guys? Are you ready? Has everybody said everything they want to say so we can get into some Silver State news here?
Yeah.
Let's go.
I'm good.
All right. Well, we have to pay some bills, and part of paying those bills is doing some ad reads, and we have something new here. Actually, I got it in the mail here the other day, and I want to thank them because I got one. I got a new one, and I saved the box. So I have a lawnmower 4.0, and I used it this morning on myself. And I was very rough, and I did not cut myself at all. So this new machine is pretty good. So this podcast is brought to you by manscaped.com. And they want to tell you about their new lawnmower 4.0 that I just received in the mail that I used this morning, and I enjoyed it. I have the 3.0 as well. I'm going to still use that as well. I need to get some blades for it, but the new 4.0 boasts things like just an improved motor. It still has its light. It's waterproof. It has everything that the 3.0 had, but I think it charges faster and the battery lasts a lot longer. And it's just it's done a little better. And I think the technology in how you cut is even better because, man, I gave myself a shave here and I gave myself a shave down below. Max, I don't know if you know anything about manscaping, but you should do it. And I enjoy, and I didn't cut myself. And you know what? When you cut all that hair down there, it makes it look bigger and your wife will like you. So go to manscaped.com, use the promo code NONAME in all caps, and you will save 20% off your order. All right, guys, it's time to talk about Silver State. Silver State. That's what we came here. That's what we're going to talk about. Big race, very big race. 827 entries, 344 people. That is super impressive. That's a lot of entries, man. But to be expected like for this race,
right?
More than DNC. Pretty
much the same as G. How much was DNC?
No. DNC was like 7 something. PMB was 800 and I think PMB was like 812 this year, but these have slightly more entries, but PMB actually had more, like 40 more participants at their race. But very big race. Wow. But to be expected.
Other way around.
No, but to be expected, this race is very convenient. You're in the hotel that you're going to be racing at. You can leave all your pit stuff on your pit table, leave it there, go to your room, go chill out for a little bit, find out when your race is, and come back down. People want to party, have fun. Vegas is open 24, I guess. I don't know. I haven't been there for a while, but I guess it's open. So people, yeah. So I expect this race to be full, like big like this. I'm surprised there isn't even more entries. So congratulations. I know they need this too. I'm not sure how much this event costs, like the event building.
But there's no, let's not forget, there's no Canadian, there's no Euros, there's no one from outside the US right now. So obviously having a venue in Vegas is easy to fly in, fly out. It's fun. Let's leave it at that. And people are going to endure the track conditions or whatever is happening because it's Vegas. You know, it's so easier for everyone. So I can't even imagine how bigger it would be with international presence.
Yeah, I'm being honest though. Silver State hasn't been one of those races. There's been usually one or two European guys every year, but that's not one of the races that Euros go a lot to. Canadians must be a much larger crowd than Europeans at Silver State, I would imagine.
Vegas.
Yeah, but
There's the
Europeans don't
Colombians
really
are there.
get Vegas though.
I see my buddy like Juan Jose Serna and Sebastian Beltran and his wife are there racing it. They're from Colombia, but they might be in America for like vacation or something. Well, like just doing RC vacation for like 3 months. So yeah, I mean, and also this is an easy place for everybody to drive to from California and surrounding states. So this is like a central, I guess it's central-ish, you know, people from Colorado, people from Texas, people from Pacific Northwest fly, but definitely a big race, man. I think intermediate Nitro Buggy, because Nitro's the glory on the West Coast. Intermediate Nitro Buggy, 107 entries. That's pretty impressive. Like
65% of entries are Nitro.
Really?
Yeah. Combined, I combined Nitro Buggy and Nitro Truck. Combined, there's 65% of the entries.
Wow. So it's definitely glory. I mean, at PMB and in the Southeast, it's Ebuggy just ekes out a little bit more. But I think Ebuggy is is a much bigger class in those areas. But in the West, like they love Nitro, especially the California guys. Like it's Nitro every weekend. They're doing club races at Hot Rod, Nitro racing, stuff like that. So man, just a great race. The track. All right, let's talk about the track. Now, out of us three that's here, I've been to this race. I just want to tell you guys, Max, you've been to Vegas too, but you've been to the.
I went to
that dirt's
Worlds.
Yes. So let me just explain this dirt. This dirt is like Mike Hill says it the best. It's like cement. Like you ever open up a cement bag? Yeah, you ever open up a cement bag and you have that fine powder dust?
Mm-hmm.
But that's how this stuff is just like light and fluffy like that. This dust gets every freaking where, like everywhere. It's just in the air, everywhere. The year I went, they barely watered. It was freaking horrible, man. It was horrible. The nitro fumes wasn't bad. It was the dust, and they fixed that this year. They watered it, but that's how this isn't even desert dirt. This is like equestrian dirt. So it's supposed to be some special type of mix for horses' hooves and all this type of stuff. They can't have nothing in it, but they can't have spikes in it, all this type of stuff. Like it's just a lot of stuff they got to do. That's why they have those sandbags on the side of the.
I was thinking about that. So,
yeah. That worked out though.
Pretty well. Yeah.
Yeah,
they look.
It worked out. Yeah. So because Joey can't have, they found spikes 2 years in a row in the dirt, and they said, no, you can't. You have to figure out some other way to fasten your pipe to there. Well, what I did like about the track is if you see also where the pits are, when I went, that was a practice track that some people used. They have a practice track as well at this race, but it's outside, which I haven't even seen a video of. Maybe I'll have I can't remember.
MSN did.
Okay. But I like how they have the pit set up. Before they had the pits on the left, like very left of the track. And you had to walk around and come up there and all that type of to get to your spot. But now they got everybody in the back. It kind of shields you away from the track a little bit. It's a big area. The only crappy thing is you can't have any tents up in there. So it would look great if it had tents. You know what I mean? You could see everybody's team and all that stuff. But they wouldn't allow you to have tents in there. So, and there's some people pitting outside. But to be honest, Joey put water. He heard people's complaints. He got a water system set up. The water and to keep the dust on. It doesn't look as bad as it was when the year I went there.
But it looks much looser because the year you went, 2018, I think 19, it sort of grooved up and became super abrasive. Now it's just super loose.
Well, what they should do is just water the edges.
Yeah,
today.
I mean, the thing is, when it's this bumpy, it's much more fun to drive when it's a bit loose. because it's Vegas wasn't that bad, even though it was crazy bumpy. The worlds, it wasn't that bad because it was sort of like loose, so you could just drive your car around, and because when it's abrasive or bumpy, it just sucks altogether.
Because it
I
catches
like
it.
this.
Yeah,
The
it
fluff,
catches
man.
you, and yeah, I mean, I kind of like I kind of like it now that they watered it. I would have wanted them to water it more. It looks like they water it just barely, but I don't really know because I don't. But it from
I
the
saw
live, it
Greg there
looks like they
watering.
barely water.
I
The
saw
guy,
Greg pick up a hose and what is like, I'm going to show you guys how to water this. That's probably what he said. This is how you're
yeah,
supposed to water it, and he went and done it. But and like the way they built the track, so they took all the soil from where the pits are and put it on the front track so they ever make more elevation. I do like the style of the track. Like you see how hard the triple and the double are getting to do. You couldn't have no big jumps. These tabletops are hard to do. The track builds enough surface and natural obstacles that you don't need a lot of jumps. And this track changes so much. And honestly, besides the Nitro Truggy race, which we'll talk about, which Tebo ran away with, I think it's made for some exciting racing. I mean, the Ebuggy man was super exciting, and I'm enjoying it. I don't know how the people are enjoying it there, but
yeah. But
it's
the
good
thing
to
is
see
with
these type of tracks back
the,
once in a
the thing
while.
is with the type of tracks like this, the racing is exciting only because people mess up. It's not like people are racing side by side close and it's like tense here, tense there. It's like, oh, Tebo is with a 10-second lead, now he crashed twice, okay, now they're fighting again. And then it's like, oh, now Mayfield catches up, oh, he crashes. So it's like who crashes the leads. It's not like actual like racing like really close side by side. And the thing is, if the track was just hard, it would be a different story because even then, if you catch up, you can still choose lines and pick lines. With here is there's pretty much only one or two lines, and even those are so that you really can't race against the other guy. So I think that's it. The racing is close at some points, when it's like, when you look at just the times, but when you look at what's happening on track, it's like, well, he's just riding behind this guy, waiting him to crash, pretty much.
Yeah, but it's the same thing as sports. If you take a look at the NFL or college sport or hockey, if you look at the World Juniors and then the NHL, like the really high level when there's no mistake doesn't always make it exciting. But when it's like college sports, they're not pros, they make mistakes. It's a bit more exciting. Obviously, it's sometimes because the track is Mickey Mouse and racing, but it does make it more exciting, and you don't know how it's going to end up,
But
Yeah,
if you watch
I
the
can
Ebuggy
agree with that.
main, watch the Ebuggy main. I mean, there are defensive positions like Mayfield cut on, like he did some defensive driving against Tyler Jones. There, you can defend and race against people. It's just that rough stuff makes it harder. And sometimes when the track's too smooth, people it's hard to overtake anybody because the line's only this big. You know what I mean? Here we have a track that everybody's using the whole track. Besides, the middle sucks. I mean, I saw Greg Degani hit a rut so bad last night. And if it's Ebuggy, like when you come off the tabletop, the front tabletop, and come around, he went down in some, like this hole was probably going to China. That's how deep it was. He hit that so hard, I surprised he didn't break his car. And he just went, just like he hit a wall, an invisible wall, boom. So some big ruts, I like it. We don't have many tracks that get like this for big races, so I'm all for it. And I think it's good. Like I said, Joey got water going, which I was happy about. He put some money into this race, like fixed things. It looks a lot better than when I went, the year I went. And kudos to those guys. I mean, they made the best out of something that is just, you can only do so much with lemons. You know what I mean? The soil isn't the best. All that type of stuff. So it's cool. And this race has been known. I mean, the year that I went in 2005, excuse me, they had a whole back section that was just sand, desert sand, and it got rough. And they raced gas trucks, and they had big, they had jumps and all this type of stuff. So big jumps and at Boulder City. So this race is known to be rough, and I think it's great.
Yeah, that's why I give it sort of a pass because it's Silver State, and that's like how it's always been. It's always been rough and bumpy, except for 2016 when they tried the glue thing. But apart from that, it's always been super rough and super bumpy. And like the sand thing you talk about at Boulder, That's what like Silver State has been. So I'll give that a pass. But thinking about like tracks like this, like imagine like PNB used to be bumpy at some years, but I don't feel like that's really like having every race like this. And like Kevin
No, no,
said,
no, no.
it is exciting, but it's not like it's sort of like lottery is exciting sometimes, but it's not like you know, it's not like you're gonna have good racing. That's what I'm after here, because most of the times, like if you watch motocross or supercross is much more exciting because there's much more lines to pick. The racing is like goes inside, goes outside, doesn't really matter. Motocross is often one or two lines, and it's like it's really hard to pass, even though the tracks are much bigger, and even though the tracks have like a lot more going on. But supercross tracks usually provide more racing just because of the fact that you can pick more lines, and especially like if you see a supercross track go really like bad, like really rough, the racing starts to be just about who crashes the most or makes the most mistakes. And yeah, it's exciting in a way, but like, is it good racing? That's what I'm really like. I don't think it is. So for yeah, I can say that for Silver State specifically, I think it's fine, and I think they should keep it this way. But if like every race was like this, as it was a few years ago, they tried to do this at more tracks, and in my opinion, it isn't good. You need to have tracks need to have their own character. So like DNB, in my opinion, it's much better when the track is smooth. DNC, that's perfect how it is. It's like really like rough at points, but it has a clean line. So you have to follow the line, and it's like the track is never really easy to drive, but it doesn't have like this crazy bumpiness or everything's like a rut, which is okay for this race, but for DNC that would be just weird.
I get that, but this is just how the track is. We don't need them all like this, but
yeah. But
it's
like,
nice to see something like this.
Usually when people are like I remember a couple of years ago when tracks used to be like this more because they felt like, oh, it's real off-road or whatever. I mean it doesn't really make for better racing, but and even here I don't think it has made for better racing, but it's okay for this race because that's the character of the race.
I was gonna make a rule that nobody can say character, so I might mute you now.
Ding.
But I
got one
didn't
strike.
say about the track. I said about like the
See, you always got an excuse.
No, I'm
JQ
right.
Jr.
People say the track's getting up some character, as in the track's getting bumpy. I say character as the type of the track. What type of the track?
I know. Jesus.
Yeah.
All right, JQ.
You can say personality.
Yeah. Well, personality, character.
You're just like
either
JQ.
way around.
Never wrong. Well, never wrong.
Exactly.
All right, JQ Jr. You know what? We're gonna talk about the Ebuggy and Nitro truck race, but before that, we gotta pay some bills, and we're gonna do that with SCRC.
Sun City RC Raceway, the home of El Paso's world-famous motocross-inspired 8-scale off-road track. The Showers family has over 20 years experience creating one of the premier tracks in the USA. Their world-class facility has everything: handicap accessibility, covered beds, skate starts, space for parking RVs, trailers, and lights for night racing. Follow SCRC on Facebook under Sun City RC Raceway for updates, upcoming races, or host your own race.
Thank you to Sun City RC Raceway for their support of the No Name RC podcast. If you are in the El Paso area, go check out the Showers family. Go check out their awesome facility. It's real off-road, or old school off-road, as I like to say. And they're a great family, and you will have fun. What's up, Eric Sassano? I see you guys there at Silver State. I wish I was there too, man. What's up, RC Jers, Taylor Wonders? Sorry, we guys see you there, but we got caught up talking about this. You know what I want to talk about? Let's talk about Nitro Truck, the A-main of Nitro Truck.
Wait. Are you going to talk about Pro E Truggy results?
No.
Oh, okay.
It was only like 4.
I thought they had intermediate only. I don't think they had Pro E, but E-Truggy.
It's sort of weird because they had like 2 waves of intermediate, but in the top heat they had 4 pros, which is
okay.
Yeah.
I think they didn't have enough.
Have like only open or intermediate for E-Truggy. They never have pro for E-Truggy.
Well, they put it in. They did a ceremony for plaques and trophies and all that stuff. I don't, if you're not going to fill the heat of pro whatever class, don't don't have it. I don't know.
They mixed intermediate and pro, says Eric. So they just, because there weren't enough. It was only like 4 or 5 pro guys. So and they just put them together with the intermediate. Yeah. So the pro guys were going to come to Green, were going to rise to the crop anyway, like kind of like how they do Le Mans racing and stuff like that. So they did that.
Or kind of like every race in Europe.
Well, yeah, E-Truggy is growing though. I mean, this is the most we've seen. This is the first time I've seen them split it up at Dave's, which I'm sure is going to come. They're going to start splitting up to sportsman, intermediate, and pro as well because it's growing like that. So I see it's going to happen. It's inevitable. I want a Tekno. I want a Tekno truck. No, that makes me happy because I want to get a Tekno Ebuggy truck, and I just want to watch Joseph freak out about it. That's what I want to do. Yeah, pro started 1 to 4. TQ intermediate started 5th. That sounds good. But let's talk about Nitro Truggy. And it was the Jared Tebo, and there was a Tekno takeover with him. He just absolutely blew the doors off everybody at this race. Jared Tebo is having so much fun. He got 3rd in Ebuggy. We'll talk about that later. But in his interview, he's like, I am loving every lap I'm doing on this race. I love the track. I love it. I knew Tebo was gonna do well, but the way he's feeling right now. He's got the glow or the flow. He's gonna do well. Like we'll talk about this later, but man, he is in the hunt. I mean, when you beat guys like Ryan Mayfield and Dakota Fenn not that bad, but 23 seconds. And Mayfield's a Truggy guy too, and he just said my Truggy was good, everything was good, just something was off. You couldn't catch him. But congratulations to Jared Tebo. What a impressive race for him. It was boring for us because he kind of ran away with it. But there was some battles behind us. Like Cavallari, Heckert, and Tyler Jones had a massive battle in that race. They swapped positions quite a lot, and it was exciting to watch them. What we could watch because the coverage was so with the camera. But we'll talk about that in our little rant a little bit later. What do you guys think about it? What's your thoughts? We'll go with you, Kevin. What do you think about it?
Let's Truggy man. Kevin first.
Yes.
Oh, look at me. It was really interesting. I was hoping that Ryan would catch up, and I was waiting for Fenn to fend himself. But I think it's almost a win for him to finish 3rd. I was also curious to see Bornhorst not do better. Mm-hmm. I was hoping the whole Tekno team was working really hard together, and everybody is doing well. I was expecting him to be maybe a bit higher, and my boy Spencer blew his steering servo, so that was a bummer. I'm a huge Spencer fan. Hopefully,
he's gonna lap at like 10-minute mark.
Yeah, he had a rough time, but I think his steering servo was off. You can see him in the pits afterwards. So yeah.
Second one already. Didn't he break one at PMB and Buggy?
I believe so.
Yeah. Should run.
What about you, Max? What's your thoughts?
My thoughts. I put it on, watched it for the start, and then I was like, okay, Tebo's gonna win by a lap. I don't think he did. I'm not sure, but almost. I mean, it was pretty clear Mayfield was not even close. Then like Heckert, Cav, and whoever was in the top 5. Well, Seth was there as well. So those guys were just like who crashed the least was 3rd. And after that it was just like Brandon Rose got lapped by Tebo like 6 times, and he was like in top 10. So that race was like the worst race I've ever seen in my life. So I almost didn't want to watch it till the end, but I had to, just that I had the info for this podcast. But that was awful. And even like Scotty and Tyler, I don't know if they were just like sad or tired or whatever, but like the first 10 minutes, they were like both like, it was like silence for like 15 seconds. And then they both opened their mouth at the same time to say something for 10 seconds, and then silence again for 15. So I don't know what was going on with them. It was awful for the start. They got better to the end though. I don't know.
They were probably on the air for 14, 15 hours. So at some point,
dude, I was so tired. I fell asleep when it took freaking 20 minutes to do the goddamn, excuse my language, to do the damn driver intros, man. I was like, oh my God. It was like 11 o'clock. I was like, I fell asleep on the couch.
How late was it for you, Max?
Oh, he was asleep.
I just watched that replay this evening. Well,
yeah,
for you it's like 1 p.m., but for me it's like 8 p.m. already. So
no, it was 11 for me, and then I fell asleep. Then I woke up in the middle of the race, and I fell asleep again. And I was like, you know what? I woke up at like 5 minutes to go. Tebo was in the lead. I said, he's probably gonna win. I'm gonna go sleep, and I'm not gonna look at anything before I wake up and watch these in the morning. And then I went and looked to one, and I watched it anyway.
Yeah, like Tebo was so in control. Like it was when he got like 5 second lead after a few laps, it was like clear. He was like, because I didn't watch the Truggy qualifiers, I just watched the results. So with the buggy qualifiers, I was like really in depth looking at all this. And Tebo was just looking like, because Seth was a little bit faster than Tebo, but Tebo was he looked so much better. Like he had not even one like situation where like, oh, he looks a bit iffy at that part of the track. He was like, it looked like he just like found a place where there was no bumps, even though he was riding right over the same bumps as everyone else. So the throttle control was perfect. You could see him like he knew where to go on power, where there wasn't the bump. So yeah, he used the control everywhere.
You got me.
He used the actual terrain to his advantage. Like he figured out how to use it and just feather the throttle in certain spots and use the jumps to make his car look like they were. I mean, he was like, he didn't make, and even when he did make a mistake, he kind of got out when he came to that big tabletop in the front, he got out in the fluff and got over the edge, and then he just jumped back on and didn't lose any time, and he didn't even look like he was trying hard out there, man.
Did you guys see that? Go ahead.
Oh yeah.
No, go ahead, Kevin.
Did you see that he also moved back to his old radio? He made a video last week about practicing with his kids, so I thought it was just like his practice radio. But I saw at Silver State he went back to the KO Pro.
Interesting.
Yeah, the thing about with the KO radios is the throttle lever, at least with the older ones, the throttle lever was a lot longer. So you have much better throttle control with the longer lever. So I'm pretty sure the new one still has the same length of it. So most likely he will have better throttle control with that. And I would imagine that's the reason why he went back to it.
Yeah, let's get this start up here, Rowan, so we can watch that. Other notables, Fend. Here we go. We got the start here. They had a really good start.
Well, considering Fend qualified 24th in buggy, this was pretty good to finish.
We will talk about that. We will talk about that. Go ahead, Rowan. Let it go. Oh, it's playing. You got the volume, Rowan? Oh, you forgot to put the volume on.
Is this Ebuggy? Oh, it is Ebuggy. I don't think we need the volume.
This is Ebuggy? No, Rowan. We need Ebuggy.
This is Ebuggy.
We need Truggy. We need Truggy. Come on, Rowan.
Truggy. Well, I don't think there's anything to watch in there.
I just like the start.
The start was really clean, though.
The starts are rough, though, in the lower mains.
Oh, wow. Mayfield made a mistake there. And he just never got back from that mistake.
I don't know what's happening with the camera, but it looks really blurry.
It is, man. It's been like, honestly, I'm not gonna try and baby at her or say anything, man. I am so disappointed in the one blurry camera at Silver State.
Yeah,
I mean,
I really can't see. Like even later on in the main, when he was filming like one car, he was like filming so far away you couldn't even recognize the car. So
I know
the camera work has been awful.
Well, they needed another camera on the left side, so we can't even see what's going over there. I'm so upset.
Freaking radio is like in front of the live feed. Like, come on.
I mean, it's better than nothing, but it's all good.
Bad.
This is my favorite section of this track. Like, you go up there, you jump down, and you come down. Like these guys are. Get on the brakes.
I thought that was a bit boring. He could have made it more exciting, sort of like, because now it's sort of like you just ride over it. I really like this part of the track. Yeah. It's sort of like really technical. You have to get just the right line. And this section where that one car crashed, that's like the section where Tebo was so good. He was like jumping over the bumps and making it a whoop section almost.
Well, at the end of that section is the pit of doom that the Ghani hit. Like once your car goes down there, it just disappears forever. So Tebo just like, this is just what he likes. Like this is
the type of thing I was saying. You saw how many cars were racing and all crashed in the whoops. This is the type of thing that it is exciting, yes, but it's is not really that close of racing. It's just crashing into each other. That's exactly
I thought it was
what
exciting. I beg
It's
to
a good
differ.
show. It makes a good
That's
show.
That's what it's about,
Yeah, but
Max. People enjoying it.
But it's
People
like
enjoying it.
NASCAR. People just want the cars to crash. They don't want
Yes,
them to
I want.
actually race.
I
They
want you to
They
crash.
want them to
I want.
crash.
I want to see crashes. I want to see racing. That's what I want.
Yeah, but
All right,
that's not what
Rowan.
I'm- so.
You could take it off, please, Ro. Other notables for that. I disagree with you, Max. I enjoy the racing. I like the crashing. Yes, I like it.
Yeah.
Ryan Cavallari, the GOAT, man. The GOAT right there in fourth spot. Not looking all too great, but the Fenn just pipped him by 4 seconds. Cavallari there. Spencer Hackett, great run for him. Tyler Jones, probably one of the top 5 or podium. He has that in him, so I think he'll be disappointed with that 6. Joe Bornhorst, that's about where he usually ends up, 7th. Brandon Rose, pretty good. Tanner Denny, I thought would be better. He was fast. He's been fast.
Yeah, but to be honest,
Seth-
he's always better in buggy. He's never that good in truck. At least I don't feel like.
Yeah, Seth Van Dalen, he would be looking for a podium or win at this.
Yeah, but he was
And,
like fifth, until like the very end. So I don't know what happened there.
Lee Setzer starting to make a whole bunch of these mains. Camden Line made this main. Tater Sontag, Aiden Horn, and Spencer. A lot of associated cars in there. Quite a bit of TLR cars. A great mix of five Tekno cars, 2 S-Works cars, and a Mugen. 1 Mugen. 2 Mugens. Tanner Denny. So a good mix of cars there, and I thought it made. Unlike Max, I enjoyed it. Yes, it would have been better if Jared Tebo didn't run away with it, but the races that we had behind there, the battles that we had, was really good. And besides the shoddy coverage, I enjoyed that. So, yeah, I don't know. I think we're going to pay some bills before we go on and talk about Ebuggy. And being as it's a Tekno takeover of Truggy and Ebuggy, we're going to pay them some homage.
Tekno RC. Tekno RC. Tekno RC is a premium manufacturer specializing in 8th and 10th scale high-performance off-road RC buggies and trucks. Visit www.teknorc.com for a complete catalog of their products. Tekno RC. Excellence in engineering. Hashtag Tekno Takeover.
And thank you to Tekno RC for being a long-time supporter of the NNRC. We greatly appreciate your support. Congratulations to you guys. I mean, Tekno's having a great time at Silver State. They got 2 wins. They have multiple wins in E-Truggy and whatnot, which to be expected because they have the most popular E-Truggy out there. But Tyler Jones is your E-Buggy champion. No, what are you doing, Rowan? We can't have this up here. We're not talking about the NNRC Cup yet. We're talking about Ebuggy.
No, that's the new House of RC page. It shows the full calendar.
Oh,
not the calendar, but the whole.
Oh, okay.
Results. It's really nice.
Wow.
That's all
I did not
House
know
of
this.
RC.
Sorry,
Yeah, we're working on it in the back of you.
Okay, so here we go. That's so much better than bringing up the other results. Here we have it, man. Tyler Jones first, Ryan Mayfield second, and Jared Tebo. This was Mayfield's, and then he stepped on his dick. But
okay, let's be honest here. Mayfield has had like the worst weekend since I can remember, and he's finished second
Nationals?
in both classes so far. Which nationals?
Hey, guys, he got a kid. He got a new kid 3 weeks ago.
No, well,
yeah,
a
but
little
that's what I
longer than
mean.
that.
Like this is like the worst race he has had in very long time, and he still finished second in the both classes that we run so far. And I mean, I wouldn't put him out of top 3 contention tonight either.
Thank you, Connie, for the awesome new graphic. Someone who got it. Connie Svensson, House of RC. Make sure you guys go there and put up your sign in and support this. Look at this. So Tyler Jones, man, he was fast. He was really good. They did battle for a while, but he just made some mistakes but Mayfield made that final mistake on the end. Incredible. Wow. I know Tyler Jones wins this, but when is he going to win it? Like, is he literally going to wait to the last corners? And he did. And I'm sure Mayfield was kicking himself in the ass for that. That's he would want to win that. So
He was bummed.
Oh, he was. I think he was more than bummed. I think he was pissed off. He like sped his car down the straight, and it struck the driver's stand and did like a 2 double backflips and landed on its wheels. Yeah, these guys want to win. They're competitive. But congratulations to Tyler Jones. I mean, in the right spot at the right time, and it's not like he was not fast. He was definitely fast. And
I'm gonna be honest here. This race has been super weird because like Seth TQ'd Buggy. I think he was in the B main for Ebuggy. Well, he finished 5th, so that's all right. But like then Tyler, I think he qualified in the B main for Buggy, right?
Yes, he's in 18th.
Nitro Buggy, yeah. So it's like super weird how all these guys are like having really good performances in one or two classes like Mayfield, and then super sucking in other classes. Mayfield, if he hadn't TQ'd that round, he wouldn't have even made the main.
Oh yeah, we're gonna talk about that in Nitro qualifying, Max. Oh, calm your tits, Max. We're gonna talk about that.
I'm talking about Ebuggy right now.
Right,
Keenan,
but
you didn't understand this.
Oh my
I'm talking about
gosh.
the whole picture. It's the full picture here.
I get that.
The whole picture. Then we get to the finale of Buggy, and we're gonna go into that. But I'm saying these guys are doing really good in Ebuggy and really sucking in Nitro. And why is that? What do you think?
Well, it's a process, you know. Like Mayfield started the weekend okay, but he ended up better with the last TQ. Some guys, it took some time to figure out the quirks of the sand. I mean the dirt. Figure out the quirks of the track and how it blows, where to go in the fluff, tires, all that stuff. I think if we take a look,
Mayfield was fast already in Ebuggy qualifiers though, so it's like weird to me. Like, why is that? Is it just that his Nitro car isn't like he doesn't have the, because he drives in a very particular way where he really punches the car into the corners, and this type of track you really can't do that in. Like DNC, you can't do that because it's like it still has the clean line. Even though there's bumps, it has the clean line. Here you don't really have a clean line. Here you always have to go over bumps, and you have to really time it. Like we already talked about how Tebo did it. So I think that's what's really hurting Mayfield here. And with Ebuggy, it's much easier to do because it has drag brake naturally. So it really calms the car down over these bumps. But with Nitro, you don't really have that. So that's why I think him. I don't know about Tyler Jones. I really haven't ever looked at how he drives. But with Mayfield, I could easily see the drag brake that Ebuggies naturally have being a huge deal here.
True.
Yeah. So that's just my thought process. The reason why Seth was really bad in qualifying, I don't really know. I think he just broke because he finished 3rd in the first round or 2nd or something. So I don't know what happened there.
I'm not sure either, but I know that Mayfield lost
last round, but I don't know the second one.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It was I think it was exciting. You're gonna say it's not, but I enjoyed the last little. Like Tyler Jones and Mayfield had a legitimate hook. Like for a few laps, they were doing defensive. That's what I was talking about. Like Mayfield, so he was coming on the inside. Like he did one of the best passes. He came up over that tabletop, came around that 180. Like Mayfield went in like a little bit wide, and then
inside on the next turn.
Yeah, and then Tyler stayed on the inside, and then like they came so close to hitting each other when they came to the exit to the driver to the front straight. And like they took complete different lines. One went wide, one went to the inside, and it was so rough. But they had a really great race in between them. And even Cav was, like I said, Cav's in 4th again, coming up there. Tebo was in 3rd. Tebo said he thinks if he had 5 more minutes, he probably could have won that. He's just in the zone right now. And
yeah, he's way better than anyone else. Even Seth, even though he TQ'd, he's like way behind Tebo. So
yeah, I
think he's just in his own league this weekend.
Yeah, but let's put it up and see the start, and let's go to the finish when Mayfield lost it there. The start was horrendous for this.
Yeah, but being honest though, this type of track, what it does well is you can really launch the car into the corner because everyone's like babying around the bumps, so you can just like really take a risk and just shoot it into the corner and hope that you don't crash.
That's because of that loom. You know, that loom's like that natural braking too.
Yeah, well, that's
Get
true,
it out
but
there.
the bumps really make it so that you have to be careful. And when you want to pass someone, you don't really have to be careful. You can just like go for it, send it, and You can really have some cool passes that way, though.
I
don't know how long we're going to be on this, but I saw a couple of minutes. Mayfield and Danny were one behind each other, and you saw that Tanner's car was going all over the place, and Mayfield was just going all over.
I remember that.
I saw that surprised
too.
How both cars were completely different.
Picking different lines too.
I think different lines, and driving style does a lot with that, because if you just really want to have the car go smooth, you can do that. It's just that whatever is easier for you to drive for however long the main is. So the driving style really have for example, Seth and Tebo were really like lap time wise and everything. Like if you looked at it, they were really close, but when you look at them on track, it looks completely different. And they have the same car and most likely similar setups too. So
yeah. Hey, Rowan, let's go to the last lap where Mayfield kind of lost it. That was so bad. That's hopefully it. You don't buffer too much. Oh no, I think it's over.
Yeah, we're there.
we're close. All right, so this is.
That's still Mayfield up front.
Yeah,
that's Mayfield.
Right. Yeah, so let's watch. It's only 30 seconds left. So it's the last lap.
What's up, RC Jers? What's up, Devin Pate, Black Dolphin?
His outside line is amazing on that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he has some good lines in the Truggy too, but he just, I don't know, he just didn't look comfortable.
The buggies look like they're going through that whoop section so much better than the Truggies.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, coming up.
Oh my gosh.
That was so weird. Like you shouldn't ever crash like that.
I know.
Well, he sort of whipped it, then landed in a hole, and there we go.
I don't know.
He was pissed off. Better to drive your car into the drive.
He always does that though. He did that in China in 2017. He thought he didn't TQ it around or something, and then he just pinned it at the end of the straight, and his chassis broke in half.
He probably lost a couple of bucks too, so he's probably pissed at that.
Yeah, and we got a new quote.
But that was the qualifiers, and he actually TQ'd, I think. So he didn't even lose anything. He just thought he lost something.
Devin Pade brings up
took it out in the last lap.
Something I forgot to talk about her, but Devin Pade brings up a good subject. He's Ty Tessman's biggest fan. There is no Ty Tessman or Ryan Lutzer. I think I know why Lutzender. I think his wife is ill. And what I heard, I don't know if this is true. I don't know if I should say it, but I heard maybe like things got too strict on the border and they ain't letting Canadians back and forth or something like that right now. So
that's not even a secret.
Yeah, he got stopped at Border Patrol.
He wasn't able to get out of his town to get to the airport.
No way.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy what's going on.
Wow.
Yeah. You guys don't understand what's going on in Canada. Like we see everybody with masks and stuff like that. There's no way we can be more than like 8 people in an enclosed space. It's ridiculous what's going on here.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
The thing about Finland is though, if someone says like from the government says that, hey, you guys should probably wear masks, but we're not gonna like mandate or anything. You just probably wear it. Everyone wears it. There's like a few thousand people in Finland who are like anti whatever mask or anti some like crazy folio heads, but like that's about it. Everyone else is like strict to the rules, and it's crazy because we have had little to no rules whatsoever. We closed down the restaurants for a few times, but that's about it.
But here's the thing: are they gonna let him come to the nationals? Is this gonna affect his nationals? Because he's probably gonna come and stay this time. He should have stayed after. Yeah. He should have stayed after PNB.
Well, right now where Ty lives is the Alberta province in Canada. They're on lockdown until the end of May, if I'm not mistaken. So hopefully he can get out of there. But it's a complete mess right now. Vaccination is super slow. We're a fucking third world country here.
Interesting.
Kind of like America.
Too bad.
Just the opposite of it, in a way.
Too bad.
They have it like so that everything is open, but everyone's getting sick as well. So.
Yeah.
Oh. All right. Well, I think we're gonna go on to Nitro qualifying and make some predictions.
One last thing, Keenan. So for Ebuggy and all your electric needs, if you need charging leads, the best charge leads on the market are made by NNRC. You can get them custom made too. And if you guys want any custom lead charge, you go at Donathan Racing Products on Facebook or on Google and use the RC Kevin code to get 15% off orders $50 and more.
There you go. You guys get go check out Donathan RC. I've had some of his leads. He's been on this podcast, and use that promo code to help out our buddy RC Kevin.
Cool.
Yeah, RC Jers Nationals warm up LCRC this weekend. I'll film the mains, etc. Yes, I can't wait.
Nice.
I'll be watching that. I'm planning my nationals trip now.
One thing about Tessman though, even if he showed up, I don't think he would have been really fast. I think he would have been like barely top 5. If I'm being honest here. Like,
why?
Remember after PMB, I said that he still hasn't fixed the issues that were at DNC, and you could see like every time he went to that bumpy section, his car looked way out of control, and he was only fast because his car looked very soft and he generated quite a lot of grip. So he was just like on the edge the whole time, but he was so much faster than anyone else that he didn't really have to worry about it. And remember at DNC, his car was just like a pogo stick everywhere he went. So like here, it would have been a nightmare. I think so.
But maybe at PNB, he chose to get maximum amount of grip and try and survive through the whoop section.
Yeah, but the thing is that even at DNC, his car was that way. Like,
yeah,
even
he had a rough DNC, so.
Yeah, but his car looked the same things that were bad at DNC was bad at PNB. So I don't think he ever like fixed any of the issues really. He just like went with the similar setup, but it worked at the other track.
Oh, looks like JQ is here. Max needs to wash his face. I invited him to come on. He might come on.
Is that a good idea?
Yeah, not with you, Max. You guys get carried away like two little school children and start chopping away and finish and talking shit about us all. You know what?
One more thing. Sorry. Why do you think the Tekno cars are so dominating at the Silver State?
Good question.
Oh yeah, this was what we were talking about before we started. So my theory is the longer arms because they have the very narrow pivot. I think it's like 45 millimeters, which is like Kyosho HB are like around 50. A Mugen A front end is like 52, I think, and the Mugen rear end is like 65. If they're on the narrow, it's like 55. So it's a big difference. In front end, it's like 5 to 6 millimeters. In the rear end, it's way over 10 millimeters difference to most cars. So I think that having the narrow pivots and the longer arms makes the car sort of like it's very good when it's super low grip and bumpy because you have the longer arms for more clearance and the angle of the tire isn't that much affected from the suspension, so it really calms down the camber gain and all that. And then on top of that, the narrow pivot makes it so that you can run a really sort of how would I say this, a really low roll center without having the car roll around too much. So that really helps around with the bumps. You can really have the car have a super low roll center and like get over the bumps really easy and still have the car work good elsewhere. And I think this is like the best scenario for Tekno car that you can find. And I think like this is the reason why they struggle also on high grip because of all these things, but just they work against it and here they work for it. So I mean I think JQ would agree. I'm not really sure, but I think those are the biggest reasons why they're so dominant here. And the shocks also work, but nowadays the shocks aren't as crazy as they used to be.
And I got that long shocks.
Yeah, they have bigger shocks.
Yeah.
All right.
I think the arms are the big deal here. And I think that's why like AE and now Mugen have went for the narrow rear pivot. But like that's better at tracks like PMB or like even at DNC that would help. But here like you would have to go way narrower to have a huge benefit of it. And that's like one of the reasons why HB is so good at tracks like DNC. Because that's like slightly bumpy and like the pivot width they have is like perfect with that type of scenario, and also see how it helps with that. But here at like at Silver State it's so extreme. It's like no like a car that works everywhere is still gonna be not that good here, because this is like the extreme of the extreme, and Tekno has like the perfect everything for this type of track. So that's why I think they're being really good here, and that's why I think they really only do good at races where it gets really bumpy. If you look at like, okay, Bonner has been fast at tracks like PNB some years, but always like big races they sort of struggle. Even like nationals and all that, they a lot of times struggle if it's not really bumpy, and especially if it's high grip, they really struggle. Just look at the worlds where everyone qualified I think it was the quarters or something. It was crazy bad, and that was like super high grip. Well, not super high grip, but rather high grip, and sort of not sort of this super slow. You don't have to carry a lot of corner speed. You just have to get the car running and then like get over the bumps. So that's like the thing with wide pivot. You get much more corner speed, and with track like this, you don't really need it. There's no need for corner speed anywhere. Yeah,
Interesting.
That's my take on it. So
thank you. You went full science mode on that. You went full science mode.
We probably like put a few people to sleep.
Yeah, you lost me, and that man right over that man. Phew, you know me. I just zoned out. I understand what you're saying. Good question, Kevin. Good science mode, Max. All right, we're gonna go on to Nitro qualifying, but with this podcast can't be brought to you without sponsors. So we'd like to thank Lugs Racing. As you know, in racing, it's all about tires. Lugs Racing has been testing different tread patterns, wheel molds, and rubber tire blends for about a year now, to bring racers the best product we can. Their tires are available in medium, soft, and super soft, and mega soft. You have the Econ tire line made for bashers using their new rubber blends, but using existing molds to make tires a little bit cheaper and pass the savings on to their customers. And then they have for the all-out racer, they have the Protos and the TQs. These are their premier tires that are made with their custom design molds, utilizing their rubber blends to provide you, the racer, with the performance you require. So please visit them at www.lugsracing.com. You can save 30% off your order by using promo code NNRC Lugs in all caps, and please follow them on Instagram and Facebook. They are at Silver State. They're having a good time. Shout out to all the Lugs racers. All right, it is time to talk about the glory, which is happening right now as we talk about this. The Nitro is the glory. It's Nitro Day. Nitro qualifying was exciting for me. I enjoyed it. I stayed up to watch it. It's going to be a short day today here. I think the Nitro cars look better out there. I'm just being biased. I think they look better than the E-Buggies. The E-Buggies look like they were on pogo sticks most of this weekend. Yeah. I would beg to differ that the Nitro... Horrible. I think the Nitro cars look better than the Truggies on the track.
Yeah, also. I think all other classes should be banned from running.
Oh, God. See, we can't do that, Max. This isn't Europe. This isn't Europe. There are no rules. But there are rules at this race. And we're going to talk about one here in a little bit. So congratulations to Seth Van Dalen. I mean, him and Tekno, him and Tebo battled it out. Tebo in the first round got a 1, and Seth got a 2, and then Tebo turned around and got a 1, and I think Tebo got a 2 in the second round. And then Mayfield, but that's the real story here, is that Mayfield, on the verge of being in the B main, pulled out what I like to call the Greg Degani. And that is, he pulled a superb TQ out of his ass for the last round, which I saw Greg do at Silver State last year as well. But wow, Seth Van Dalen, what do you have to say about him in Nitro Buggy, Max?
So for me, Seth has been I'm really not that surprised, because remember, I think he TQ'd was second at DNC 2 years back.
TQ'd.
Yeah, TQ'd. So I'm not really that surprised, and especially I'm not really surprised because he isn't like dominating, and Tebo is, in my opinion, looking much better than him. So he's most likely gonna finish second here today if he doesn't mess it up big time. But it's still impressive. His speed is better than Tebo's. He's really punching it, and he's making a bit more mistakes, but his absolute speed is a bit better than what Tebo has. So he's been showing really good, and especially thinking that he hasn't been racing in a while. It's at least at big races, it's impressive. Like, these type of performances really show that, I don't know if it was Tekno or Seth who didn't want to race at PNB. But if it was Tekno, it's a huge mistake to not let him run, because these type of things is what really shows for the car. Because if Tebo wins, it's Tebo winning. Sort of like when Mayfield wins, it's Mayfield winning. But when Seth does this good, it's like it's a thing for Tekno as well. So I think
he has been on hiatus.
Good.
He raced at the Hobbyplex, and I'm sure he practiced. He has his own track. Maybe he was able to practice there. I'm not sure how the weather is up there, but he's been on a hiatus since DNC. No big races, and he needed this. He also needs a great finish. He needs a win, or he needs a top 3. But he definitely needs a win in this.
I think a second would be good. Second or win is good, because I mean, okay, let's say win would be great. Win would be like something that he shouldn't be doing here.
A second like where they battle to the end of the race is what I'm expecting to be good. Not like a second where some guy ran away with it. He needs this win. He needs it.
I don't think he needs. I think he needs to finish second now, and he needs to finish second at the next race he goes to. He doesn't.
The next race
really
would be the
win
Nationals.
Right
now.
He does
top 5 there.
He does need to win.
I really do think that his break gave him a lot of clearing mentally, and you love calling this a sport, Keenan. So we know that sometimes athlete, after a longer period of time, or that they are on break for whatever reason, when they come back, they're a bit more fresh. And I'm wondering if that's something that he's a bit more fresh mentally, a lot less pressure in the past couple of weeks and months on trying to perform at PNB or Lone Star or whatever other race. But I think it's the old guys that are going to finish top 3, 4 on that main. I really think we're going to see Tebo, Mayfield, and maybe Cav. I'm really hoping Spencer bounces back from his hard weekend, but I think we're going to see the big dogs and the old guys come back with a win there.
I mean, I can't see if it doesn't go down to flameouts or anything else. I can't see anyone else but Jared winning. Really, Seth could win if Tebo really messes it up. But if Tebo rides as he should be winning this easy. It should be a piece of cake for him. And the thing is now, I think Danny is actually one of the biggest surprises this year, because he was fast from the start. And actually, even like you can see Pavides there in 6th. He was actually the fastest guy in terms of pure speed. In terms of pure speed, he was the fastest guy after Seth and Jared. I'm not even kidding. He was actually like, if you look at the lap times he was doing faster laps than Seth and
who are we talking about? Pavides or Dan or Danny?
Pavides.
But and shocking to see him in the A main though. He hasn't. This is his first big pro A main.
But the thing is, he was super fast. He was much faster than even 6th. He was faster than Danny. Danny just put it all together. And Danny was actually quite fast, much faster than Rivkin or Ogden was there too, but he was slower than Danny and Pavides. But like Rivkin and Mayfield were not they were a few tenths back in terms of speed to Danny, and Danny and Pavides were a few tenths back to Seth and Jared. So like
what? But Rivkin had a good first round too. I think he finished 3rd.
He had good rounds. But I'm talking like speed. If you look at the lap times, what type of lap times they do, like Danny just really put it together, and Rivkin put it together in the first 2 rounds. But like Pavides and Ogden and Danny had much better speed than Rivkin and Mayfield. And the thing about Mayfield though is in long mains he's gonna pick it up, and I would imagine it would be sort of like Tebo, Seth, and Mayfield for the top 3. I would be surprised if that wasn't the case. Especially like Rivkin didn't really look good at any point. He just like barely got. I feel like he barely got around for that 3rd and 5th in the first 2 rounds. But I mean, I could be wrong. He did really good at DNC in the main, so maybe they figure something out for the main. And
he was also in the B. He was also in the B at DNC. So
yeah, exactly. So he really can pick it up for the main if they figure something out. But they've been really working on bumpy track setup, so I feel like they must have something down. So I hope he does good. But to me, it would be really weird if someone else than Mayfield would be in the top 3 with Seth and Jared.
Well, let's talk about Mayfield here. He went in there with a 14 and a 13. Uncharacteristic, on the bubble. What was his what do you think? He's still he looked comfortable in the TQ, but I think a lot of that was like, he just had to go and do it. Like like the time at DNC when he had to do it, when he just had those crappy qualifiers. This is the sign of a true champion too, as well. But man, he wasn't about. I thought we was going to see Mayfield, and if he didn't have that last qualifier where he put it all together, he would have been in the B main.
Yeah, but the thing is that even though when he TQ'd, it's not like, oh my god, he was super fast, he figured something out. When you look at his lap times, he was still at least a half a second slower than Tebo and Seth. So it's not like he's not going to be close unless he now figures something out. But like he's not going to be close to Seth and Tebo if he's going out with the same setup as he did with the last round of the day. He just like Tebo and Seth made mistakes and he just kept it together for 5 minutes or how long the qualifiers are, 5, I guess.
Is Dakota will Dakota get out of the B main jungle?
We're going to talk about that.
Can we talk about this?
No, 1 second, because I just want to a few honorable mentions. Aiden Horn making another A main. Making another A main at a big race. We had CJ Jennings scrape in. Adam Drake 13th, he scraped in, and Jared Riggins after
9.
Yep,
Rose at 9.
Brandon Rose. He had some. I think Brandon Rose might have had a 3rd for Ron, or no, something like a 4th or 5th.
He has
Sorry,
6 and 10.
6. Yeah. Okay. Oh, there it is. Jared Wiggins back in after not making the main at PMB. And I also wanted to shout out Steve Harris because this is the fastest I've seen him go in a long time. And he was on the bubble and he just missed it. And Spencer Heckert too. So, and Ryan Pavidis, man, that really shocked me.
Heckert and Jones both in the B.
That's what I want to talk about.
Pavidis is impressive because of just the speed of it. So, I mean, the pure speed he had was incredible. It's like he must have figured something out because he was faster than Rivkin in terms of speed. He just couldn't put 5 minutes together as well as Spencer did. But I mean, I can't really blame him. That's like his first big main, and he was really fast. So.
So we have Tyler Jones, man. He had a abysmal Nitro quality, and you don't expect this from him. You know, like you touched on Ebuggy and all that stuff. You're fast in Ebuggy and Truggy, and then you're not in the B man. Starting 18th, he didn't just scrape. Like he missed the B man by 4 spots. You know, 5 spots. Yeah. A 13, a 17, and a 17. He did get hit yesterday too. Apparently, a car hit him in his leg.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Marshall got hit. Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know if that affected him as well. I mean, I don't know how hard he got hit. He looked fine today, but just way off pace. Any thoughts on this, Kevin or Max?
Well, apart from the Fend, I would say that the B main is like Jones and Heckert, and there's a lot of fast guys there.
Yeah.
So
Jackson
it's almost
Brunson
like
too.
DNC once again. Yeah. He's been looking pretty good recently.
Fend in 24th. This is so uncharacteristic. Usually Fend's always in the main. I didn't pick him this year either.
Can I say something I already said to you? Me and JQ, we were right. We were right all along. Now
about Barry Baker?
About Fend's car setup. And
Barry Baker's gonna hear this and I'm gonna get a letter her soon.
Yeah, I think he gets it. I think he must have. If he didn't get it, if he's like making excuses now, he's lost it.
Well, what did you see about Fend in his qualifying? I mean, you can't really see much from the camera, but
I couldn't see anything. But like it was pretty clear that whatever happened at DNC and whatever happened at PMB, like it's happening right now. But because there's so many more bumps, it's happening much more. So. Yeah, it's pretty clear. So if they want to, they most likely will try something completely different today. I would probably do it unless they already did it yesterday and he just needs to get comfortable with the car. So I wouldn't be surprised if he makes it to the main and finishes top 5. I wouldn't be surprised, but
I think they have advantage.
If he doesn't change anything, I really can't see that happening. Because the car he drove at DNC at a PMB is just like that type of setup even though you tweak it around, you can't never get it to work here so that you can be fully comfortable.
You know? That's a tall order. He'll be starting what, like 1, 2, 10th.
You see the best.
But
You see the best
I don't think
TLR.
I don't think it makes a difference on somebody's mic's making a whole bunch of noise. I don't think it makes a difference on this track. You can start in the back and still come to the front. The way this track is, and people are gonna make mistakes. I think whoever bumps from this B is definitely gonna benefit from track time. We saw that at DNC. So it's gonna be, but it's not gonna be easy. I mean, you got Steve Harris, who's been fast all weekend, Spencer Heckert, Kyle Turner, Tyler Jones, Cole Caston, Mason Fuller, Evan Vale, Jackson Brunson, Westergaard. There's fast guys in this race. I didn't realize Tater was so far on.
So who was the fastest DLR after qualifying? Is it Westergaard?
No, after qualifying?
Cav.
Westergaard.
Cav.
Oh yeah, Cavalieri. Okay, when he was like top 10, right?
8.
He's 7th. Oh, 8.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah. That's. I mean, that could just be Cavalieri because the whole year he has had a different setup than Fend, I would imagine, or he just drives so different. But his car looks very different to Fend's, and it has been looking the whole year.
They don't even look like they have the same car. It's completely different. They don't handle the same. They don't look the same. It's night and day.
Yeah,
Cav's the man, guys.
Fend's car looks like the old school TLR with that 10 scale front end. And Cavalieri's car looks like sort of like
Associated
HB. Well, you're kind of like Associated, yeah, that's true. It kind of pushes into the corner, and rear end is really like stuck to the ground. So it looks like kind of like Associated.
Yeah, Cav, man, I'm gonna make some predictions after this. After we do this, but I'm kind of like you. I just think that there's going to be one winner of this. Unless he breaks, he's going to win this, and that's going to be Jared Tebo. People are like, well, what about Seth?
He can choke too. He can choke and like just lose it. But if he doesn't, if he just runs in,
what if Camden Lime freaking Mal podiums this race? That would be so big for him.
Where did he qualify?
6th.
Oh, Pavidis?
Yeah.
You said Camden Lime, so I was kind of.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I get them mixed up all the time. I don't know why. Ryan Pavidis. What if?
I'm gonna be honest here. I really like the guy, but he doesn't have a good track record with mains. Like
he's your nemesis.
Is he?
He's one of your nemesis. I know you guys were all in that infamous DNC intermediate main together.
Yeah, I remember. But he's
that time you sandbagged.
That time you sandbagged.
Exactly.
I'm messing with you.
Well, I mean, yeah, but I mean, just honest here. I don't think I've ever seen him run a good main. I mean, I haven't been to all the races he has been, but like a big races, he has super good speed. Even at RCGP, he was I think he TQ'd or was like second after qualifying, and in his semi, he just completely blew out. I mean, I'm definitely hoping he makes it a good run at this race, but he doesn't have a good track record with stuff like this. But he's been showing really good speed, so I mean, maybe he's just fitting it this weekend.
All right. Well, let's make some predictions. Who's bumping? Hold on. The DNC is the only race Max has ever won. That's JQ trolling you.
Yeah. Well, I think that's true. I probably want to finish club races.
It's bigger than bigger than any race he's won.
Well, he won Nordics like 10 times.
Yeah, but that's the DNC.
He's beaten like Drake and all those guys like in 2000.
Yeah, he can't beat Drake now though. Can't beat Drake now.
Yeah,
can't beat Drake now.
Don't feed the fire. Do not feed the fire.
Yes, let's feed the fire with Joseph. Okay, predictions. Who's bumping out of B main for the Pro Nitro main? You go, Kevin. Give me your two.
I'd go Tyler Jones and Dakota.
Fuck, I think we're all gonna do that. How about you, Max?
Yeah. It's like if Dakota doesn't bump, I mean Baker really has to go into hiding or something. Like
I want to see Jackson though. Brunson was on the cusp of bumping in Ebuggy and in truck. I'd love to see him get out of there.
Man, I'll be honest.
That all being said, I'm saying Jones, Fend, and Brunson finishes third outside the bump.
Okay. I think I'm actually, you know what? I'm gonna go out on a limb here. I'm gonna say Steve Harris because he has been fast all weekend.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say Jones and Heckert third. I want Jones up
no
there.
Fend.
No,
so
I'm not
okay,
picking Fend.
okay, we
I'm
are
banned.
Kevin. We're gonna be right because when Keaton picks Fend, he's not good. But when he doesn't
right.
pick Fend, so now he's in. Okay, so Fend and Jones
There we
is
go.
right.
I'll beat Drake the next time I race. No, you will not, JQ. You should have come on her and talked about it. He says Fend will bump. I'm not picking Fend. I'm not allowed to pick him anymore. So I think they're gonna bump up, and yeah, I don't know, but we're gonna make our predictions for the A main here in a minute. But as you know, I have to pay bills, and we have to pay some bills here, and that goes to Hi-Tech. Since 1983, Hi-Tech RCD has been an industry leader in engineering and manufacturing radio control systems, servers, and telemetry components. Our team of top engineers have researched and developed the most superior servo technologies in order to bring the highest level of performance and reliability to your hobby. Along with Hi-Tech's rock-solid reputation for quality products, including our extensive charger line, we have a dedicated customer service team available to offer constant support. Trust in Hi-Tech, your servo and charger headquarters. Check out their new RDX2 Pro charger. It's a dual charger. You can charge your 4S batteries 2 at a time. And their new HSB-9381TH servers. And if you have any questions about Hi-Tech servers, you can find them at A Main Hobbies, HRP, Max Products, Motion RC, Robot Shop, or contact their Surface team manager, Mike Walker, on Facebook. Thank you, Hi-Tech, for the support. Check them out, guys. I'm going to get myself one of those chargers when I get back racing here. Predictions. Joseph, put your predictions in the chat here. You can be a part of that. All right, guys. So here we are. We got the main coming up in a little bit. We're probably going to be done in time here to watch the B main. Let's make some predictions. Who do you have for this pro main in Nitro Buggy?
Who's going?
I'll go Tebo, Mayfield, Calver, Rivkin.
Wow.
Tebo, Mayfield, Calver, Rivkin.
I don't think Seth is going to string it together for 45 minutes on that track. I think the young guys are going to find that being there for 45 minutes is going to be really hard. That's my opinion.
You think? Okay. I think I would agree, but I would still say Seth finishes second because he's just so much faster than anyone else out there, apart from Tebo, obviously. But
he flamed out in truck.
What engine does he run, by the way?
Block.
The block. Yeah, that's an OS. So I don't know. I'm still gonna put Tebo first, Seth second, and I have to go Mayfield for third because it's like Ogden is all right, but he almost never beats Mayfield. Then like Pavidis is fast, but he's Pavidis, so he's like first big main and all that. Then Denny, I could put Denny in front of Mayfield, but if Denny is third and Mayfield is fourth, Denny will just wait and let Mayfield by because they are like best pals. And Denny is like cocking for Mayfield, so that's like that's that. So Mayfield will have to finish third. Denny is gonna be in the top 5, and so will be. I would say Ogden will be in the top 5 as well. Okay. I would see it that way.
Cocking, yeah, rude bastard, Max.
Hey, JQ has his picks, eh? Tebo, Mayfield, Denny.
I could see that if Seth. Really
I could see that too. I wouldn't go across that. I wouldn't. Actually, all right. So my top 3 is going to be. I'm not picking Seth. Unfortunately, I want to. I'm happy that he's TQ'd it, but he TQ'd DNC, and
But didn't he finish?
That didn't go too well for him.
Oh, he sucked then?
Yeah, he didn't even. I think he finished like.
He must have finished in the top 3 at some place.
He has. I think he did at PMP last year. He finished second.
Okay, so he can do it.
He can do it, but I'm taking Tebo. I just think he's on fire. I think he's got the flow. He's got that mini afro going, like dad afro. He's looking like almost like out of Beavis and Butthead afro.
And
that's what it looks like.
Shirt. And the flannel.
And it's got a
shirt.
flannel. He needs to get his sponsors on a flannel shirt.
Okay, so he has fully gone back to like 2012, 2013.
Not like he's not got he's not got the big afro like this. He's got like a Beavis and Butthead type afro going on right now.
Oh, okay.
He's pretty superstitious,
flannel,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh?
He's the flannel.
Yeah.
And he's back with KO Radio too. So like he's fully going back to like 2013. Like he's probably one of the best years with Kyosho.
So I'm taking him to win. I don't think there's anybody that can beat him unless Seth Van Dalen just comes out there and he just starts from the beginning. I'm taking Jared Tebo, Tanner Denny, and man, I want to say Cole Ogden, but I'm also thinking Spencer Rifkin can be there. And you know what? I'm not going to put Ryan Pavides in the top 5. I don't think he can do that, but it would be amazing if he did. It would be amazing if he did.
Yeah.
If Tyler Jones bumps from the B, I think he can do top 5.
Wow, that's a statement. Really?
Maybe. I mean, come on. Ogden, he's going to beat one of these guys. Ogden, Mayfield, or Denny. He's going to have to be one of those. I just can't see that happening.
Tough choice.
I don't know, man. The track is going to win at the end of the day. And I think Tebow is the only person that's in tune with that track. You know, you hear everybody, it's so rough. He's like, I love it. So he's in the right frame of mind. I think the only person that can beat Tebow is Tebow if he breaks or anything like that. 45 minutes long race.
Yeah.
And we don't even know who's going to be in that race altogether because we don't know who's going to bump. So it's going to be interesting. I'll be watching. Hopefully, I don't want it to be a runaway. You know, I want it to be a battle throughout the race.
If being honest here, if Tebow wins, it's going to be a runaway.
If he drives like Truggy. Hopefully, like Mayfield unsteps his dick. Unsteps on his dick and figures it out. But I would like to see some new people up there too. I would like to see I think Cav can be in the mix too. Don't count the old guard out and the old like
Cav
33.
Cav is gonna finish either 6th, 7th, or 4th. Not 5th.
6th, 7th, or 4th. Just a mix of numbers.
He might finish second, or he might finish 3rd, not 4th, 5th. Not 6th, maybe 9th.
4th and a half. He's going to finish 4th and a half.
But not 5th. Not 5th.
What's up, Jerry Shaws? Well, Heckert's got to bump into the B.
Yeah, he has to bump out of the B.
Yeah.
Out of the B to
even in Truggy and Ebuggy, I think he just like he was kind of scraping it. He was decently fast, but he was just hanging around in there. He was never like in the battle. I don't think he was like hanging.
How much help does this guy have at the Silver State?
He's got Tim Lime and all those guys there. He's got more help than he you know, the S-Works team isn't that big. It's just like Tim Lime and a few guys. They got more help than JQ guys there because there ain't that many JQ guys there. Do we want to talk about anything? All right. So we talked very positive about all of this. Let's talk about some of the negative things. That insane cut in the intermediate buggy last night. Was it intermediate Ebuggy? Oh no, Truggy. It was Truggy.
Rowan, if you want to pull up last night's YouTube video, it's at around the 6 hour mark, 6 flat.
It was such a cut. Like, man.
That's a tough one. Even the Scotty and Tyler didn't want to say how bad it was, but they were like, "Oh, you should have waited." Should have waited.
Yeah, they should have 601. One guy's pulling up.
I talked with my buddy. Like, I honestly can't understand how they let that guy on the podium.
All right, well, we wait for that. What about you, Max? What's some of the? You ain't there. We ain't there, so we don't know. Here we go.
So it's it's the white and the blue car of Frankie Jr. Oh. We lost it. It's not right now. It's on the YouTube time lapse. It's at 6 hours flat.
Oh, it was an Ebuggy. I thought it was in Truggy.
Yeah, no, it was in an Ebuggy.
Okay, I saw one in Truggy that was really bad as well.
Yeah, I'm really surprised how those sandbags work
Yes. I have seen people get caught up in them though. Like you could get under them a lot easier. But
okay, so it's gonna be soon, so you can just let it go. But we'll chat and we'll do some
is the guy
commentary.
they're filming, right? So, I mean, is this like the open class, right?
Yeah, it's the open class.
Yeah. How much slower were these guys running?
I haven't looked at times.
Let's see. I think it was 42 there, so that's 3 seconds.
Yeah, but that track at the end was getting really rough. Yeah, they're all in the low 40s, and I think the tightest, the fastest that they were in pro was like 37.
They got done at like 1 a.m. last night too.
Yeah, but like
right?
the Ebuggy fastest laps were like 39. So
they had a driver's social last night, so I wondered how much they worked on the track last night and this morning.
No, they had the social Friday night.
I thought they had one last night too.
Yeah, Friday night. No, they had it Friday night, and they had
I wish at American races these guys would actually fix the track every night.
They do at this race.
You know? They do. Well, they don't have a choice.
They do here.
Yeah,
because you would be hitting straight concrete.
So we're what?
We're just spending time soon.
Okay.
They don't. Can you just show me the timestamp on YouTube? Okay, so it's soon.
Okay. They do they had to fix this track, so they fix it in the mornings or they fix it in the evening. They probably fixed it this morning.
Yeah. But I think they should do what they do at Supercross races, where they just completely fix it, sort of like make it almost completely new again.
Well, I mean, they fix as much as they can in the time that they have.
All right, there
they can't
you go.
Fix it.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
So they'll go through the washboard section. It's the white and.
Oh, okay. It's kind of buffering, but I guess we're seeing it
right now.
No, I'm watching it live. Oh my god!
Oh, he cut there.
Dude.
What?
Oh my god! And that guy won.
Yep.
That's like Drake. That's like almost worse than Drake.
He didn't even let him cross.
I know.
Holy shit! He didn't even let him by. Oh my god! Like that's like
I thought
that's not even like
they didn't hit. He just lost it.
He shouldn't even.
Oh my god!
And dude, that guy won.
I saw a bad one in intermediate Truggy too.
He was behind when he crashed. He wasn't even in front. Like when he went out, he wasn't even in front. Like it's not like he could say, "Well, I was in front when I went out." Not even that. He doesn't even that on his side. He was behind the guy when he went out. Like look at this. He makes a mistake, and he's behind him, and then he goes out to the track, and then he just cuts in front of him. That's like pretty much.
He takes a big lead. He takes like a whole 10 meter, 15 meter lead in front of him. Like he would have been so far behind him. I saw a bad one too.
That's like almost like you know that Drake cut from A main where he just decides, okay, I'm just not gonna go there. I'm gonna go the other way. This is like that, but almost worse.
I think that's worse.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, okay. This is probably worse because it's like in the middle of the race, but
he got in the middle of the track.
Yeah.
The Truggy one that I saw, the guy flipped her, right? And then he flipped out on the straightaway, and the marshal didn't see him, and it was to his back, and the marshal just put him on the straightaway, and he went. So he missed this whole section of the race or the track.
But isn't the chance underline there too? Or it's in the front?
Yeah, he had to miss a lap. They did smooth. This is last night. They did smooth out the track, Joseph. You know what? The one thing we didn't talk about is we might as well talk about it. I'm going to talk about it a little bit more and extensively with Joseph this week. Drake not allowed to run the 40 plus class. No pros allowed to run 40 plus. Or you have to make a choice, 40 plus or pro class. And Joseph, I was talking to him. I don't know. I don't want to say nothing. I want to see where Drake finishes. But he's not. He's only in. You know what? He's early in the pro Nitro man, and he just scraped in. So it's going to be interesting to see if that extra track time doesn't mean anything today for any races.
Well, it does add a lot of wear and tear on a car. That's one thing. Second thing, it affects 3 guys: Chicky, Degani, and the Drake. The Drake is the only one that's really performing. How does Greg think of this? He's like,
Greg's in the open. He's running intermediate. He just ran intermediate.
What? Oh, really?
He's going to run intermediate for. It's like, I'm going to drop the intermediate. I pay for something. I pay for this. I'm going to drop the intermediate. He's been wanting to run, but look at it. He's like 9th overall or 10th. He isn't like flying in intermediate. Those guys are beating.
Greg is just like the type of guy who would do that. Like,
he
what
probably
is the Paul doing? Chicarello.
He didn't go. He didn't go.
Oh, at all?
Right,
No.
but even when they run pro class, they're in the last main. They are a non-factor in this thing. But I just want to say this real quick. People are talking about the rule. I'm going to talk about the rule more this next week. But Joey had to make this rule. You know why? Because next year is doing a series, and there's going to be money on the line, $10,000 to the winner. So there cannot be any gray area. There cannot be any extra time on the track because of your age or anything that this would apply for a junior race as well. So that's why I think he was forced to make. And I heard a company complained about it, but I'm not going to say that. You guys are going to wait for that juicy tidbit next week. But I heard a company that might have listened to this podcast and said something about it. I don't know. We don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, if we're being honest here, most likely Drake is not that much affected. Like,
Man,
I don't know.
I think you're wrong.
They already
I think
run
you're
3
wrong.
classes. Does he run 40 plus in all the classes?
No, he just runs in buggy this
Buggy.
is a hard race to judge it. This is a hard race. It's so rough out there. I was expecting it to be a little better. And in Truggy, like he flamed out while he was bumping. He was in the lead. He was trying to stretch it out to 10 minutes. He flamed out. I don't know what happened to him in Ebuggy, but to be honest, like this race is so rough. We can't really judge it. Like, you know what I mean? We'll see at the end of the day.
I think. You go ahead.
You want to go? Okay. There's something else too. JQ is going to roast me, but yes, he does get more track time, but he has to wrench on his car. He wrenches on Mayfield's car. He is involved with so many guys in the pits.
He doesn't wrench on Mayfield's car.
No, but he still works. He still works on helping guys in the pits. He does some engine work, and he does fuel a couple of guys for races. So he runs around all weekend. So not racing a class, yes, he's getting more track time, but he's probably more fresh too for a race.
Well, I'm sorry. It definitely helped that DNC.
I think
that's one time.
That isn't really. I think that isn't
and the year
that
before,
big a deal, in my opinion, because
I think you're wrong.
You're talking to me?
Yes.
I was saying to Kevin, it's not that big of a deal. I was saying like the whole rushing around the whole day, like I don't think that's the big deal at all, because like you're running one more heat, and it's like and even I think JQ I think when he ran the Legends class, he ran the same car, but I would imagine Drake sometimes runs a different car for the 40 plus, but I'm not sure. I mean, I probably would if I were him, but I don't think that's the big deal. It's like the days are so long. You run 3 times a day, and you have the whole day. You start at the morning and you end up at the night. So I don't think that's gonna be like the huge thing. I think the bigger thing is like the benefit. The benefit you have. Well, yeah, you get a warm up for each run. That's something you have. But I think the bigger benefit you will have is like if your car isn't at a perfect setup, you just have more runs to test it around. But if your car is working really good and you're feeling really good, I don't think he's going to be any better. Like if he's having a bad day, it's going to help him then. But if he has a good day, most likely he'll finish up pretty much where he is. And I think like if you really think about it, it's going to probably help like Mayfield setup almost more than, well, at least as much as Drake's setup. Obviously the warm up is a nice thing to have, but like most of the times, I don't think he's driving it the 40 plus just for himself. He's driving it just like to test the stuff, like test more stuff, have more runs to test things. I think that's
so
like
it gives an advantage.
of it. Yeah,
it gives an advantage.
But obviously it's a PNB 40 plus at first after Pro and Drake suck. Okay, yeah. Well, I'm gonna say this. So for the qualifiers, it's gonna be a mild advantage, mostly because of the setup thing. But for the mains, it's going to be a big deal, in my opinion, especially if it's before, because we already said that having the B main run, that's like a good thing, and the thing is like having more track time is going to be always better for the mains. In a qualifier, it's not that big of a deal, in my opinion, but it still helps. But in the mains, it's a much more bigger deal, because you will have, first of all, you have the warm up, sort of like a B main, and second of all, you will have all that running throughout the weekend. So you will have a more like a comfortable, you'll be more comfortable around the track. So for the qualifiers, most likely he will end up pretty much the same. But for the main, it might help or it might be the same. But like, yeah, I don't think it's any way like worse to have more run time on the track, even though he would have to maybe wrench a bit more.
I beg,
So,
yeah, Kevin,
yeah.
you don't understand. Like at these races, these guys don't get much track time. Like at DNC, he doesn't get track.
Yeah.
Like at
The thing
PMB,
is,
you get on that track 2 to 3 times on like if you're running Truggy and Ebuggy, you get on the track 2 times that day. At DNC, it doesn't. This is why it kind of shows a lot more.
yeah, there are definitely races that where more track time hurts. Like for example, the Euros, you run like 5 or 6 times a day, and you really like. I don't really even want to run in more than that. I would just like to have shorter days and run the same amount at that time. But running so much in one day, it can hurt if it's that much. But that at DNC, it's like you only run 3 times anyway, so it's like it's not that much. And especially like let's say the worlds, because there's been a huge like debate over should we have a week of practice or not. There
Mhm.
I think what JK is saying, that the practice doesn't help, is correct, because there it's like it's only practice and it's at the start of the week. It's not like between the race. So the
Mhm.
biggest thing here is the warm up before the main, in my opinion. The qualifiers I don't even consider such a big deal, but the main is the biggest deal in my opinion.
Okay. All right. Well, anything to add to that, Kevin, before we move on? Maybe we'll take some viewer questions and I'm going to wrap this up. I don't think we're going to have many questions, but
I'm gonna
right.
say this too. Like this is such a no-brainer. Like, why the hell would you let pro guys run 40 plus to begin with? Like, why? Like, there's really no good reason to do this. Like, there is like this is only done for the money grab. There's no other reason for this. And even though like a money grab even sucks at that, because there's like 4 guys this affects. So to me, like it's a no-brainer. Just like don't let pro guys run 40 plus.
Well, especially now that there's going to be money on the line. Well, there's always money on the line with contingency
Yeah.
and stuff too. Joseph doesn't agree with that, but I think it's wrong. All right. You know what? We're going to hear from one of our longtime sponsors, and they're actually at PMB, and I'm sure he's having lots of frosty beverages. Mr. Brent Denford and Beach RC.
BeachRC.com, the racers' one-stop online hobby shop. Choose from all the popular brands and variety in stock with super fast shipping and great customer service. BeachRC.com still has the local hobby shop feel with all the benefits of the internet. BeachRC.com is the exclusive distributor for Ultimate Racing, JQ Racing, Pro Circuit Racing Tires, Nitro Lux Fuels, and Assault RC Performance products. So fill up your cart and check out at BeachRC.com today.
Thank you to Beach RC and Brent Densford. I was supposed to be out there in Silver State. He let me know how disappointed I wasn't going to be there. But I'm sure he's having fun because Brent has fun all the time when he goes
He
to
knows
races.
how to party.
Oh, he does. I wouldn't have been able to hang with him. I'd have been home in my bed most days. Joseph has got one last comment. Joey only cares about money. He doesn't care about the race. I mean, he doesn't. He wants to make money too. So, yeah, that's how it goes.
Give her a break.
Joey cares
Come
more about a
on.
speakeasy. He doesn't have a
What's
speakeasy at this
speakeasy?
race, I don't think. It was a secret bar he had in the
Underground
driver's
bar.
stand.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you can't really argue with that. He puts little to no effort into the whole like comfort of the race. He's like,
So-
what's
Go
that?
ahead.
Comments. Let's finish up, Mask. We got a really good comment.
Oh, okay.
right.
Yeah, but that's always I was gonna say anyway.
Put X pros in 40 plus. Is this still okay? I mean, what's the goal of 40 plus anyways? Then guys, but here's the thing about that.
That's a good point.
But those guys ain't like, all right, so Greg Degani's in 40 plus. It's not like, okay, he does win, but he doesn't dominate. There are other guys that are just as fast racing against him. There are a group of guys that he race against us that are fast in that particular race. Just because he used to be a pro guy doesn't mean he's still pro now. I get it. He's obviously better than the average guy out there. But you guys don't understand. Greg Degani races maybe 4 times a year. He got a little bit inspired and started getting the Hot Rod Hobby Reserve like once a month, but he hasn't been for a while. We're talking about a guy that barely races. He just shows up.
Let's not only talk about Degani. Let's talk about someone I know, which is Bego, Eric Deschines. So the Anglos can't really say his name, but he goes to PNB Silver State. Not PNB, sorry, DNC Silver State, and maybe once LCRC, Rome, New York, that type of stuff. But he races 40 plus. He's not a world champ. He has an okay career, but he didn't achieve anything in the pros. But he always fight with Don V, Ronda, the same guys and girls that they fight together in 40 plus. So at some point, do we want to give a bit more exposure and a bit more competition to high level racers that didn't quite make it, or you just want to put everybody that's 40 and over?
Oh, so they want to. So what do you want to do with those racers? Make a legends class or what?
That's all depends. Do we want to have a legends class which is only for ex pros?
They did have that at DNC one year and it never filled up.
That's the worst possible thing in my opinion. Okay, here's the simple solution. If you want to have classes, you can have that in terms of how fast you are. But if you want to have classes for everything, it's just ridiculous. Like the thing is, you're gonna have a 40 plus. It's gonna be everyone over 40, or you don't have a 40 plus, and then you just have the main sort of the thing. So it's like, to me, it's ridiculous that you get more track time. Like you can get more track time running a different class if you're a certain age. Like why don't you have a junior class then? Why would you have a 40 plus only? The 40 plus class only exists.
Let's have an overweight class too.
Yeah, exactly. I want to enter that. Well,
so like the thing is that the 40 plus class only exists for more money for the organizer. So to me, it's like, it's okay. Yeah, you can have that, whatever, but like it doesn't exist to make better racing or to have the 40 plus guys race each other, because they would race each other in other classes anyway. It's like there's like you can have a 40 plus main and you can have a junior main, and we have that in Europe, and it's actually pretty cool. But you have only that one main. You don't need to have its own class, you know. And even better with the main, you can just say, okay, he's a pro, he doesn't make it. Or if it's like someone who runs pro class but doesn't bump up from the C main, you can run the whatever. But if you make the A main in the pro, you can't make it. So it's like if you run pro, you can be anywhere in a pro, but if you make the main, you can't run the 40 plus. But if you don't make the main, whatever, run the 40 plus main.
You know what? Like here, we don't have any classes. We have open, and we do have a 40 and over class, but that 40 and over is mostly dads and stuff like that. So they can run an extra class with one car because they're pitting for their sons or their girls. And I know I will never get a trophy because it's not a participation trophy. I want to win the goddamn thing, but there's a different area. So everybody together, and it doesn't matter age, sex, size, or whatever. It's just one big class, and that's how it gets really complicated. And we talked about sandbagging and all that stuff. When it's all mixed together, I think it's a bit easier for everyone.
Yeah, I can. We have talked about this a lot in the podcast before, but I can say two class is I can accept, because you have the pro class and then you have the rest. I think that's the best system to have, because you can have a different type of race format for the pro class. You can limit it to like 30 entries or whatever you really want to do with it. But then the rest is the rest, and that's who are like the hobbyists, or they can be sponsored guys, but they're not like the I need to win, or maybe they want to win, but it's not, it's not the pro guys. It's not the who takes it like life and death. And the 40 plus and junior or whatever, I feel like having a main for them is important, because I mean, I feel like it's for juniors especially, because those are the up and comers and getting more exposure, getting more track time, and for the 40 plus guys, because I feel it's sort of a tradition, and also it's like there's not that many 40 plus guys out there, so you can easily have an A or B main. I don't know how many are these big races, but at Europe it's always like maybe a few mains worth. Most of the guys are 20 to 30 anyway. So like, to me, the best scenario is two classes, pro and open, and then you have a main for juniors and a main for 40 plus. That way you save a lot of time on the track, and that way you can make the race more worth it for everyone. So I think like these type of situations where it's like, should the 40 plus race pro, the conversation should be, why even is there a 40 plus class? Like, let's just get rid of the issues and fix the system before like complaining about little something around there. And yeah, it's not gonna happen next year, but I mean, we should work towards it happening. And if you do all this, then you won't have issues such as, oh, Jake wants to run 40 plus, and there's also some other guy who wants to run pro but doesn't really actually like win races or even make the higher mains. So that's like,
Well,
if you ban that guy, it's like it just hurts him. It doesn't help anyone. But like he can run 2 classes and he can have fun doing it, but Drake will run the 40 plus only for track time. So it's like those are definitely two different guys.
yeah,
So
I actually then the 40 plus guys will make the argument. What are people that support the hobby and make things go because they're the biggest class, and mostly and the youth that they say that the youth don't matter. Well, not that they don't matter, it's that the youth don't have, they have to come with their parents, and there's not no youth in RC. Then that comes to that whole revolving door because we're all just grumpy old man. It's a whole thing that we can talk about. Yes, the 40 plus does bring really big, really big. Really big. But see what it is, you take away their ability to have more track time. And I tell you, you think it's a joke, but guys want that damn trophy, Max. They want that plaque. Track time and that track. And especially at a race like this, where they get that extra track time. And not only that, they get that extra track time on a chassis that they're gonna race again. So that's why it's just big like that. And unfortunately there isn't. Go ahead, Kevin.
The 40 plus class, 51 Ebuggies, 16 E-Truggies, 85 Nitro Buggies, and Nitro Truck. I know Nitro Truck 50.
Yeah.
So it's right there. It's like 250 entries.
That's like how many? There were 344, and that's 80 for. So that's like a quarter of all participants over 40. Okay, so that's very skewed. Because in Europe, it's not that crazy, I think. I guess in America, it's just an old man sport.
Well, it is, and because it takes father sons and father daughters to do this. It's not like a kid can just go do it. He can, but it's not. I mean, it's easier now than it was back in the day. But yeah, you know what I mean. So they do put the most money into the economy. I mean, I'm 40 plus. I'm gonna run 40 plus if I go to a race. 40 plus E-Truggy. There we go.
I think the whole issue here is just the idea of having so many different classes and needing to run more classes to have track time. If the track time was adequate to start out with, you wouldn't need any of that.
Well, we know that's the issue, Max. We know. Look, you guys are living in this dream that we're gonna go back to one class. It's not gonna happen ever. Not in America. It's gonna be like that the rest of the world, and it'll be like that in Europe, and the rest of the world's starting to change a little. But we're not gonna go back to one class. So let's just accept it. And we may have races that have one class, but it's just not gonna happen, guys. I'm sorry, it's just not gonna happen.
Yeah, you just can't have nice things, I guess.
Yeah, people like you break them. If you guys have any more questions,
I'm trying to fix it.
Well, that's what people would say. You're trying to break them. If you guys don't have any more questions, I think we're going to wrap it up. Closing thoughts on today. All right. So tell me what you expect from today. What's your closing thoughts on Silver State, Kevin?
It should be pretty exciting. I'm really looking forward to see the B bump ups. The track, while we were talking, I was looking at the track. Right now it's the A main warm-ups. It looks like it's pretty smooth. So that could throw a wrench in my predictions of the old school guys coming on top. But should be very
rough. It's going to get rough.
Well, they're still halfway through the program, and it still looks pretty okay. I'm really looking forward to a good day. Should be interesting.
How about you, Max?
Yeah, for me, I got very sad looking at the truck main, just the blurry screen with the pit window as well there. So I hope that is fixed for today. Racing wise, let's put it this way: like the exciting wise, like big races are always exciting, but racing wise, I'm not expecting too much, as I explained beforehand. But I feel I'm really happy if Tebo wins. I'm like genuinely happy for him, because I don't think he has had like a big win. Like he has won races, but it's never been like this was Tebo's race. Sort of like when Mayfield wins DNC, it's like, okay, this was Mayfield's race. Like if he has a race like that, it's gonna be like sort of a throwback to the old Tebo. the way he won Neoba races and all those. So
yeah.
Well, he
Really
won
looking
Silver
forward to
State.
that.
He won the first time Silver State at the casino, I think.
Yeah,
2018.
he's been good here.
Yeah.
Plenty of times, but
Yeah. And he won PMB last year too. So, but I know what you mean. Like
yeah,
where
but
people
sort of
like
like
think,
PMB sort of goes under the radar because there's like the live wasn't there then, and it's like
Mhm.
sort of a huge mess altogether. So
And he won last week too in mountain biking.
yeah,
yeah.
I'm on. Well, here's my prediction. I hope maybe we get a little better coverage for the pro main,
Yeah,
better camera. Man, I'm really disappointed about that. I'm glad we have something and nothing at all. But I understand how budgets work and how things happen. But definitely could have had another camera. I kind of want Tebo to win too. He kind of needs it. I talked to him before PMB. Was it PMB? I think, or yeah, I think it was PMB, his last big race. And I was talking to him real quick about something, and he's like, yeah, he's hungry. He wants that win. He looks like he's having fun. And I think when you look like that and you're just like, yeah, I got third in Ebuggy. I think I could have won if I had a few more minutes. That type of attitude. He's the only guy I see having fun. Where Mayfield he's frustrated. Jones is obviously looks a little frustrated. Even though he won Ebuggy, he looked frustrated not being in the Nitro main, and he still has to get there. I'm going to enjoy watching that. But man, it's going to be good to see Tebo, and then I could get him on the podcast to talk about it. So we shall see what happens. And I think it's going to be good.
Though? Like what happens?
Well, Seth will come on.
Wins?
If Seth wins, then I would be very happy if Seth wins because I believe in Seth freaking Van Dalen. I've been hard on him, but I'm hard on people that I think should do well. I'm hard on Cole Ogden. I'm hard on Seth because I think they should do well. I'm hard on people like that just because I think they can do so much better. And maybe this time off, if he wins, this is exactly what he needs because then that ties him with Jones. Jones has a big win, even though I think this will be a little bigger. It'd be at Silver State, but it's not impossible. Somebody's mic's coming through here. Might be yours, Max.
Mine.
Yeah, but we're kind of. What's up, Chase? How you doing, man? What's up, Dan Jones? I don't know what Joseph. Tebo won Buggy Land at TA. Yeah, Thunder Flasher. Oh, he also, yeah.
Yeah, Buggy Land was like a club race, like a JBL.
Buggy Land was in 2019, Joseph.
Yeah, that too.
He's won PMB since then. All right. Well, thank you, Kevin, for coming on. Thank you, Max, for your time. Check out Kevin, even though he does most of the stuff in French. Let's shout out Donathan again before we go.
Some stuff's coming out in English soon. Hopefully, we get to have some pretty killer videos of our track here in Quebec. Thank you very much to Donathan RC. Use the promo code RC Kevin, like my name, if you reach them out on Facebook or on their website, and you'll get 15% off orders $50 and more.
Okay, Max, you want to shout out to anybody before we go here?
Subscribe to my YouTube channel. That's about it. I hope I get to race soon. I wanna film stuff outdoors as well. So maybe then I'll try to. I have a few videos that I filmed, but I haven't just got around to edit them. But there's a lot of content already in there. There's like I think over 10 episodes.
You do good stuff, man. You should see your face every time Keenan goes to do an ad read. You love those.
I'm not looking at his face. I'm looking at the screen.
Every time his face, he's like.
Yeah, I remember one time we were doing this podcast. Keenan thought I went like out, like my connection went out. I was like.
Oh my gosh. Speaking of that, thank you to the NNRC squad around the world. You guys make this possible. Thank you to the patrons of the NNRC. You guys keep these bills paid. Shout out to all the sponsors of the podcast: Mayako, Beach RC, TNR Fuels, High Tech, Tekno RC, Manscaped.com, Sun City RC Raceway, Lugs RC, Papa Willie's Traction Tonic, Racecraft USA, Wally Builds, RCGP, and go fill out your profiles on House of RC. They're helping us out. One thing we forgot to talk about, but I'm going to talk more about that on the podcast with JQ. NNRC Cup. Seth Van Dalen got 3 points for TQ, but he's got to have a really good showing. Tebo can make some points up this week if he does it. and become the favorite coming out of her. So we'll see about that. If you want to know more about the NNRC Cup, that's on House of RC as well. Go in there and search that out. And yeah, thank you. You guys enjoy the Nitro Buggy Finals day. It's the glory day. I'm going to go enjoy it after I get off this. This podcast will be up on YouTube. Remember, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hit like on that channel as well. We want to get up to 1,500 viewers. Subs, sir. We should have more than that. We have like almost 4,000 people liking our Facebook stuff. What's up, EKJ247, 24,000. What's up, Corey? How you doing? So go hit that sub button, hit that like button, and that notification button, and let's grow this YouTube channel. We appreciate that. And I think that's it, boys. I think that's it. Thank you for your time. 2 hours. Silver State first look. Remember, Nitro is the glory. Ebuggy pays the bills. If you ain't grinding, you're sliding. Lefty, RC, Kevin, and Max are out. Let me make sure I have the outro right this time. There we go. Enjoy Nitro Buggy Finals at Silver State, everybody.
Thank you for listening to the No Name RC podcast. We greatly appreciate all the support and love from you, the listeners. Without all of you, none of this is possible. Special thanks to our patrons on Patreon. If you wish to support the podcast further, you can at patreon.com/NNRC podcast. As a patron, you will receive early releases, special content, and patron-only giveaways. Also, please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and our website, www.nnrcpodcast.com. Remember, Nitro is the glory, but Ebuggy pays the bills. If you aren't having fun, it doesn't make sense. And if you ain't grinding, you're sliding. Lefty out. Nitro is the glory. Nitro is the glory. Nitro is the glory.
That wasn't so bad.